If you know what you're doing is fine, should you be concerned about people misinterpreting it? You be you, right? Well, kinda. In contrast to the strict hyper-individualism that you find encouraged on social media today, Judaism definitely recognizes that we live in a society. One of the areas that this becomes seen is the principle of Maris Ayin, or Marit Ayin. In a nutshell, this principle compels someone not only to consider that which they're doing, but also how that action is seen by others. But can everything be misinterpreted? Well, fortunately, there are very distinct rules for when this principle of Maris Ayin is applied. Listen here. The biblical source for considering the thoughts of others about your actions is V'hiyisem nikim me Hashem umi Yisrael, that you should be seen guiltless before God and before your society, the Jewish people. Why is it important to be seen as guiltless in the eyes of your society? Either to protect your reputation or so others don't learn from their misunderstandings of your actions. When do we act on this concern? The greatest 20th century halachist, Rav Moshe Feinstein, summarizes it like this. If the action that I'm currently undertaking in most instances is for forbidden purposes, even if those purposes now are permissible, this action should be corrected. So one need not be concerned about the ridiculous conclusions someone will reach for from their actions, but rather they'd have to ask themselves, is this a reasonable conclusion to take from my actions? So for example, if I'm eating steak and I'm drinking a glass of milk with that steak, in most cases that milk is cow milk and would be forbidden. So if I am instead drinking almond milk, it would be reasonable for an onlooker to think that I am transgressing the Torah. So we're instructed by the code of Jewish law to leave almonds on the table so we can dispel all doubts. Nowadays, having the almond milk carton on the table is probably even better. Also, as the prevalence of alternative milk increases, more and more onlookers are aware of the fact that it's very likely that milk is not dairy, thereby further decreasing the concern of Maris Ayin. So the Maris Ayin concern is highly circumstantial and can often be solved with good communication. Just to end off with some food for thought, if you're in a position of extra influence, like a parent to a child, or a community leader, or a rabbi, you may want to err on the side of caution, and even if something is totally fine from the perspective of Maris Ayin, be extra cautious while educating the people in your sphere.